Cisco is a major operator of ICTs, but now you are thinking differently about cities. Why are you working on cities of your future? Is it the same as ever to find an ideal city of the future, a panacea, or is it something quite different in your view? Is it more open? Is it more smarter? What it is?
Yeah, this is an interesting point. We can compare this to when we were talking 20 years ago about the intelligent or the smart buildings. When we were talking about the smart buildings, we were thinking about something very innovative, that we're going to push something and all the doors are going to be open and the air conditioning is going to be put on and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, we were not talking about the benefits for the citizen or the benefits for the community. So today, when we're talking about cities, we are not talking about having intelligent gadgets that are going to help us move from one place to the other place in a special plane or whatever. No, we're talking about using technology to make cities friendlier, to be able to increase the GDP, to be able to attract new businesses, and to reduce expenditure. So we're not talking about innovative usage of technology with no objective at all. We are talking about innovative usage of technology that at the end of the day is going to help cities and the government of cities be much more rational, be much more efficient, and for the citizens in order to be able to receive better services.
So in your view, isn't it something like a toolbox for decision makers, for urban design, for citizens? Is that what you want to mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And in fact, I was talking with an architect just now after the event, and he was saying, yeah, do you know something about communications and internet and everything changes so much. Obviously, it changes so much, and having internet by itself without any kind of service is absolutely useless. So what we want to transmit people and architects and urbanists and city managers is, listen, prepare your cities, lay the infrastructure, have the communications prepared, and then everybody will be putting services on top of it. We will be putting healthcare services, security services, citizen services, Google, Facebook, education services, and so on and so forth. And consider the communication like the fifth utility of the 21st century. We have roads, we have energy, we have utility, we have gas, we have phones, and we have internet.
So, in my words, this could be something like a platform of open innovation.
That's it.
No.
That's it.
So, you can work on that with your competitors, say Google, Facebook, and
absolutely.
And it's completely open. It's for it's quite interesting.
Absolutely. In the cities we're working with, we are working on establishing the communications platform, and then everybody's coming and putting services. Microsoft is coming, IBM is coming, Accenture is coming, Google, Facebook, Cisco, all of us, we are putting services in order to make the city more efficient.
So it's not only technical.
Not only technical.
It's social, but in the view of Cisco, what is the social dimension for urban design?
Do you know the social dimension is that at the end of the day, now, and some speakers were talking about it also, is that we are creating, the cities today, they are not very friendly in terms of looking after the elderly people, after the abandoned children, and giving services to this kind of social part of the city is very expensive, and it's very time consuming. So using technology, for example, we are using technology in certain cities in Spain to be together with the ancient guys. There is an elderly people who is living at home. We are using some kind of technology, it's called telepresence, so that the social services every morning can contact this man and ask him, have you have your treatment? Did you get up? Did you have breakfast? Good morning, Pepe, how are you doing today? Are you feeling okay? Do you want somebody from social services coming? And if they see that this guy is not feeling very well, automatically there is an alert that goes to the social responsible, it goes over there. Because at the end of the day, the technology, what it's helping us is create community and bring us all together, much more closer.
But in some kind, it could be a new way for city regulation and for individual regulation. Don't you think that it's in some ways a possibility of innovate in city regulations?
I mean, one of the things that using technology and using communications, it will force the city regulations in other ways, because, for example, when we're talking about the telecommunication space, who is going to be owning that? Who is going to be putting the fiber? And whoever is going to be putting the fiber, will they be the owners of the services, or will there be an open market for the services? In Cisco, we think that the services market has to be open. There has to be, different kind of services, and we have to compete amongst one others in order to be able to offer the better services to the community.
And in your presentation, you have spoken about proof of concept. In your view, is that because it's so enormous, so huge cultural change that we have to be, it has to be done step by step? Or why proof of concept?
It has to be done step by step, and it has to be measured. Yeah. Because whatever is not measured, it doesn't exist. So if I go to the mayor of whatever city and I talk about this, but I'm not able to give him numbers, to tell him, listen, if you are going to be investing in this infrastructure and this kind of services, and you will be able to impact your GDP in X percentage, or create, I don't know how many thousands of jobs, and to be able to shorten the time of healthcare and so on and so forth, if we are not able to measure that and to really give numbers, we will never be able to implement. So that's why it's important to be doing projects and pilots and proof of concepts, and to be able to measure the benefits of it.
And what do you say to urban design, urban planners, or decision makers who have in a sense, a fear of technology?
Yeah.
They say that it's Cisco, it's always technological. You have said that there is a social dimension. How could they be more confident with a view of the city, which is not exactly an ideal view of the city, but which is something for all the functions of the city?
You know, and at the end, as well as they plan where the roads and the highways are going to be going, they have to plan the communication infrastructure. If in a road, in a highway, there are no cars, okay, there are no cars, there's no problem. If in the infrastructure there is no data communication and there is no video, no problem. But the thing is that we have to have the cities prepared today for the services that we will have to be given in 5 and 10 years' time. That's important.
Could you give some examples of the proof of concept projects? Because I've heard about green and connected bus, personal travel assistant, healthcare systems. Could you give some images of it quickly for the interview, for the people to know what are the real projects?
The real project, what we were talking during the presentation, Amsterdam, for example, Amsterdam is a very highly technology city, and they are developing very interesting projects in order to make the people travel less around the city and take less their own car and so on, to be able to virtually work from their home or from their specific spaces that they have opened. Barcelona is also being very innovative. There's a special area in Barcelona. It's called 22@ Barcelona, and they want it to be they want to attract a lot of businesses into that area, and at the same time have people, citizens living there. So they have designed the area in order to be very attractive for businesses, and also to be able to offer services to the community, to you and me, in terms of video and possibilities to be in contact with the family living abroad and so on and so forth.
And for emerging countries or for poor countries, because we all know that mobile phone is developing quite quickly in these countries. So we can have a view that it's out of the scope, or in another view, we can say that it's with mobile phone developing quickly in these countries. Could it be a good basis for you to develop some kind of specific project for this country, or is it out of your strategy?
No. In emerging countries, we are investing a lot in Cisco because we think there is a high potential there. And most of the projects that we're doing have to do with education, have to do with social services and healthcare, and also have to do with increasing the penetration of small and medium business in dispersed areas, for example, in China and in Russia and so on and so forth. Let me tell you something. This is a little bit an anecdote. I was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago with the Ministry of Education of a country in Africa. And she was telling us that they have been investing a lot in rural areas. It's a country in Africa that they're always in the news because of the poverty and so on. That they had invested a lot in rural areas to put broadband there and video, so to be able to create schools in small villages so that the children can receive their training or their learning through video. So after the presentation, I came to her and I said, listen, I always hear about your country. I don't want to mention the country now, about your country in the news about the poverty and the women, you know, the differences between men and women. How is it that you're investing so much in technology to train your kids? And she was telling us, listen, do you know something? If I have to wait until I have the books, I have the teachers, I have the material and so on, it will pass 15 years until I can give education to my kids. So while I'm preparing this with video, it has taken us about 4 months to have the broadband and the video from people and transmitting it to all these villages And I have informants, I have had the kids receiving the training in maths, in general information, and so on and so forth. So we have to have in mind that technology is a leapfrog for those underdeveloped countries to be able to serve the community. And at the same time, they can be developing all the other methods. So and that's something important.
So if I understand your project, Connected Urban Development, is something quite flexible, quite versatile project. So
Absolutely.
It could be used in many different contexts.
Many different countries. It's open, it's flexible. We are partnering with the public sector. We are also partnering with other private companies, because at the end of the day, it's using communication to deliver services to the community.
Yeah. But what are the limits of your project? There is no limit.
Well, let's see. Let's see. For the moment, there are no limits. But at the end of the day, give us time. Give us time.
It's fine.
Okay.